Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Doctor Who. This is right, my name is Matt, hello. What's up? So, Doctor Who time. Last time on Doctor Who, we got 73 Yards, which was an insane fucking episode. Very good episode. Big fan of that episode, actually. It really showed how unique an episode of Doctor Who can be, I think. It is such a good idea, such a good concept, and like it was one of those episodes where like the discussion was so chunky, and so much so that the first so if you haven't watched my video for 73 yards, I spent like 50 minutes talking about it, and then I recorded an extra like 40 minutes talking about it more, because I was like, as I was editing the episode, I was realizing more things, and I was like, I want to talk about that again. It's one of those episodes that it's like, oh, there's so much good stuff in it. The short version is it's a very good episode about fear of abandonment, which is kind of what Ruby's character is, which is it's really good. I really liked it, but even beyond that, it's just such a thrilling episode. You know, I'm watching 73 yards, and a lot of it is just like me being completely immersed and engaged into what's happening, even if not a lot is happening, but my brain is just racing. So I love some of the yards. But yeah, anyway, that was an odd outlier of an episode, because usually Doctor Who episodes are about the Doctor going places. That was a Doctorless episode, which we hadn't had for a while. I wonder how people feel about Ruby after that episode. That's something interesting, that because I am watching these episodes a couple of weeks after they aired, it means that I don't actually, I'm not part of the conversation with the fan base, which honestly, I don't know if I want to be. I was doing Doctor Who video reactions in like 2018. I think that's when I started. And I was doing the Peter Capaldi era of the show, because I had stopped right when that started. So I went back and picked that back up during the Peter Capaldi era. And I fucking loved it. And it was actually really fun to go through that and have like people every week just being like, yo, this is cool. This is why this is really cool. Like, I love this episode. That doesn't really happen that much anymore. I feel like every time anyone says anything about Doctor Who now, the comment section is just a bunch of people just flaming and just saying like awful things about the episode and the writing or whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, what happened? Like, what are we doing? I'm because like, to me, Doctor Who is such a like fun show. So whenever the audience of that show is like, I fucking hate this, it's this thing of like, bro, what happened to fun? Like, what is go do something that's fun for you. If this show no longer is, then just go do that instead, you know? This is a weird ass intro. I was supposed to just watch the episode. Fuck it, let's do it. We're gonna watch episode 5. Patreon, support the Patreon, check out the links from below, pop up on screen. Support the channel and get to watch the next 2 episode reactions ahead of time. So this should be episode 7, which I think is the second to last episode, because I think the final episode is episode 8. I think we only have 8 episodes this season. So episode 7 should already up on Patreon, as well as full-length reactions. So check that out. Yeah, let us begin. So Doctor Who Series 14, episode 5. Let's go.
Dot and Bubble.
Hi there, Lindsay. Such a super day. My bad, Lindsay girl. Hop, hop, hop. Today is
I'm thinking these are not real people. These are AIs.
Where's Jimbo? He always wakes up first. Jimbo.
Oh.
Jimbo Fennel. Jim. Stand up.
Oh, and it follows her. Yeah, okay.
Forward. Forward.
So this is the nightmarish social media dystopia episode.
Urine content is 0 for the 3rd day in a row. Well done.
Dr. P.
Have you seen? He's amazing. Oh, Lindsay, Ricky September is so beautiful.
Open Ricky September. Oh my goodness.
So
You don't know me, but my name is the Doctor, and your
Hi.
life is in danger. There are monsters, and they are coming to get you. No, Lindy, don't.
kindness all day long. What does this look like? Okay, gotcha. So this is the nightmarish social media episode. The fucked up dystopia we're all heading towards. The idea that like she doesn't even look where she's going. The machine tells her where she has to go, like how many steps and in which direction, just so she doesn't disengage from the feed. She has to ask the computer, which is Dr. P, to tell her whether or not she has to pee. Okay, they all live in a dome.
Everything's fine all of the time. Leave those home well fluid in
I
no
see.
time.
The world sucks, so we all just delude ourselves. We don't say hi to bad feelings.
Love them so much. The t-shirt is a classic design from the year 5-5.
So beautiful, Lindy.
Like, are any of these people real?
Turn left. Forward.
Dead body, yeah. Nobody can even see it. Yeah, nobody can hear anything. That's like so nightmarish. So I guess people are real, but some of them are not because Dr. P is not real. Dr. P is a construct. But people have to be real in some degree because they disappear.
Isn't chapping a funny word?
Oh, crazy days, it so is.
I love that word.
I'm serious, Lindy. Now there's no sign of Zachary. Like, he's disappeared.
Oh, you're no fun.
My name's Ruby Sunday. Hi.
You're not on my friends list.
I know, but please, everyone keeps turning me down. Super please, Lindy. Oh, I love that top.
Compliment?
Okay, what do you want to know?
That's a way in.
We all work 2 hours a day, 2 long hours, and then we get the rest of the day free. Isn't it obvious?
And you work in an office of 6.
that is correct.
Are they there?
Are they where?
At their desks.
How should I know?
You're in the same room.
What am I supposed to do? Look.
Ooh.
So where is he?
Danny? Danny J, hello?
Okay, this is some horror shit. She's gonna check and it's gonna see a monster eating him or whatever.
Can you stay inside and look beyond it? Can you do that?
I can do whatever I want.
Then, could you try? What can you see?
Nothing. No one.
Bertie sits about 10 feet away.
Yes.
Is he there?
Oh, who cares?
Lindy, I want you to be very careful and look to your right.
Okay. We're not gonna get a clue to look.
I have to get back to work now.
That's good.
What did you see? If you could just lower your bubble, turn off the dot and look. Just for a second.
Bubble down, dot off.
Ooh. Oh, that's gross. Why is the guy so gross? It's like a giant fucked up slug. That's really cool because it's a giant fucked up slug. It slowly approaches you, but people don't even realize that. Try to ignore it.
Here's a plan.
Go, just run.
What is that noise?
Play Ricky September.
There we go.
Lindy. But I've got a friend, he knows how to deal with it, I promise. Here he is.
Oh, just leave me alone, will you? This is just getting so ridiculous. Is that thing, is it something to do with you?
I'm here to save you, okay? So I want you to stand up and walk out, but without the bubble.
I can't do that.
You need to lower the bubble. If you walk using those arrows, you could stroll right into one of those things and get swallowed alive. The truth.
Okay. So she's gonna learn slowly how to come out of a literal shell, literal bubble. Because like, they are big slugs. They don't like run or anything. They just slide around and you walk into them. I don't think you be... Okay, I see. Without the guidance of the bubble, she literally doesn't know how to walk.
I'm so stupid. I don't know how to walk.
What do you mean?
I don't know how to walk without the arrows.
You don't know how to walk?
Without the arrows.
You don't know how to walk without the arrows.
I see.
Exit, please.
Forward. Turn right. Forward. Turn left.
And turn it off again when you're at the entrance. Otherwise, you're not gonna see what's ahead. The best thing for you would be to turn it off and on.
You're amazing, Lindy. I swear to the sky, you are doing really, really well.
Oh, condescending much?
Forward.
It ignored you.
Forward.
Why did it do that? What did you do? There's two of them now, just letting you go.
They can't see, but they can barely move.
Police.
All lines are busy. We regret we cannot help you at this time.
Please, will someone help me?
That's why we're here, and we're gonna get you out, I promise.
This is an interesting episode. We might not ever see Ruby or the Doctor in like actually the flesh. Is everyone else fucking dead?
Could you just lower the bubble just for 10 teeny tiny seconds?
I'm not a child.
Sorry.
Hey, be careful, watch out!
This fucking nightmare.
Hi there.
Hello.
They're everywhere. This one girl, she walked right past and it ignored her. But then this other girl, she got eaten alive.
Some of you get eaten and some of you don't.
He must be from the Wild Woods.
What do you mean?
We're told from day one, never touch the Wild Woods.
The thing ignores the Wild Woods. The dot just ignores it because it's bad, it's negative vibes, so we just ignore it.
We come here from the home world. No stinky old folk, just people ages 17 to 27.
Okay, that's why I've seen
no,
only
not
one.
just
Only
anyone. If
young
you can
people.
afford it, obviously.
Okay.
So you're the rich
Okay,
kids.
rich kids.
That's why you only work 2 hours a day. So the rest of the time,
We party. Mummy paid for it all.
We miss you so much, darling. But I pay
That's-
for the whole moon. Look up at the sky and wave to us on the home world.
Can you recognize her? Alternate timeline Ruby did.
oh, hold on, I've seen her before.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, she's the face of the ambulance in Postarion 3.
Okay, they recognize her.
Are you two in the same room?
No.
You are. You're in the same room. You're together.
Mhm.
You lied to me. This is like a conspiracy. Who are you?
We're saving your life, woman. Chill.
Didn't I block you? I knew it. I did. I thought that you just looked the same, but you're. How did you do that? My hazy days. Why am I even talking to you two? You're criminals. Initiate group chat now.
You did not just priority one. Priority one.
Mute. Guys. Sorry, not sorry, but this is much more important. I have evidence. Just look at my close friends. Look how many are missing. Jimbo and Bobby. Where's Cooper Mercy? Can you hear me? Cooper Mercy. Cooper Mercy was my best friend. Unmute Gothic Paul.
Guys, I've been trying to say, people have been disappearing.
This is the weird thing. Some of us get eaten and some of us don't.
I'm sorry, some of us get what?
There are things out there in the real world, and I swear they are eating us alive.
Oh, for land's sake, Lindy, don't be so silly. Just because someone goes up.
Well, there's your proof for all of you who are left. But that one approached him.
I muted you.
Unmute it, honey.
I was so right to hate you.
Squeeze in.
You can't do that.
Yeah, well, I just did.
Guys, I know this is wrong. When this is over, he is going to be so disciplined. I can't wait, but just give him a shot, okay? I think he's not as stupid as he looks.
Running underground, underneath the town. If you can get to the river, there is help, there is safety, there is an escape. I'm sending you all locations. You all live within a half a mile of a conduit, so get there.
I guess they don't know how to walk. These are all sheltered people who don't know anything. I'm guessing that they were born and they were given the dot. She's running out of battery. There is battery on this fucking thing.
Oh, I'm out of power.
You are kidding me!
You still have battery problems.
That's what I'm wondering.
Inside building.
What? Building number what? Where do I go? Oh, come on, Lindy.
You could also try to go to work to charge and then... Okay, she's walking now. She's doing better. Oh, she's guiding herself. Oh my god.
Lindy.
This is such a weird thing. I would like to say it's unbelievable for this for this dumb shit to happen, but I'm not sure. Like, I wonder if you were a human that from birth learned motor skills based on, like... I have a lot to talk about when this episode is over. Let's just focus on the suspense for now. God, this is like it's like a fucked up weird video game where like your controls are tilting, like the floor is moving. It's trying not to walk into the trap.
Turn left, take 2 steps forward. Just follow my voice. All you have to do is walk forward. Use me like the arrows.
But you look like Ricky September.
I am Ricky September.
Oh my gosh.
What's your name?
Lindy Pepper Bean.
Oh, you're one of my followers.
How'd you know that?
Wow, okay. Everybody is.
Okay, Rick is September. I'm thinking he's gonna die. But like, let's keep going.
That was your first hug.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, I should have asked. We do have to get moving. I tried to warn people in my videos, but they kept getting deleted. Because it's weird, these things, they eat some people, but not everyone. I opened the bubble, dropped my songs, and then
Oh, cool.
I turned the dot off for the rest of the day.
Oh, cool. I love that. That's exactly how I treat my YouTube videos. Just fucking post them. I'm out. I don't need to know. Because of the mental damage inflicted on me, I was just like, fuck it.
Whoa, don't look at that. Look at me. Look at me. Lindy Pepperbean, I will get you out of here.
I thought this was the worst day of my life, but maybe it's the best.
There's still thousands of people being eaten alive.
Yeah, but
Oh, this okay. I've never seen two whiter people in my life. That's how I feel about this dude.
Up there in the sky is a planet full of our mums and dads, and they're going to be so cross.
Maybe they're all dead already.
This man, and he said there was a code. He was horrible. He was so rude. He said the conduit has a code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I speak to Mummy?
Link's busy. They're probably getting millions of calls, but they're coming. They're on their way. Just might, take a little while.
Doesn't want to break the news to her. Okay, they're moving now. Just don't run blindly into these tight corners. What are we gonna do with these people? Like, where are we gonna drop them if their home world is fucking gone? I mean, some other planet, but if they make it to the TARDIS.
This is so manual.
Yeah, people used to work like this. My life was tough.
My job's not easy. I get chapping.
Hey, I think.
Hi, Ricky. Wow.
Hi.
You get the numbers for 5 seconds. Don't miss a number. They only stay live for 5 seconds, and there's 100 numbers in total.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh god.
I've studied postcodes, so I kind of know how they work.
Clever as well.
I'm worried for him. I'm worried for Ricky September. He's like too good right now.
My friends, are they?
Don't distract them.
Good thing is, none of them have been eaten so far. Why?
Well, Ricky says, my friend, Ricky September, he says there's...
What are you thinking?
Wait a minute.
What is it?
It can't be. Lindsay, your friend, Gothic Paul, is he a Paul who's Gothic, or is Paul his surname?
It's his surname, Alexander Paul.
Oh.
What are you thinking?
Before that, Cooper Mercy. Before that, Bertie.
Based on alphabetical
Yeah,
order.
what's the difference?
Those are the names in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
So?
So that means that that means that this is deliberate. They're being tracked and this is deliberate. God, I don't remember the names of these people. What's Ricky's surname?
Susie Pentecost. She's still here. She is.
Oh, hi there, Lindsay. You look like fun.
Oh, Susie, 17. You're about to die.
Friends, it's all gone so quiet out there. But it's really, really nice to meet you. And you were so pretty.
That's really sad to see. That's really fucked up.
They're going to eat.
Don't get distracted!
No, they're not. Listen to me. We're safe.
My guy, only 5 seconds!
45. Lindy, I'm getting you out of here. 65.
Oh, Ricky, babes. Oh, he's a keeper.
One of these two is gonna die.
If those things are eating in alphabetical order, they're not bugs from the outside. They have been.
Yeah, this is deliberate.
I keep saying, why can't the dot see them? What if it wants you to walk right into them?
Why would it do that?
Imagine if that dot has achieved sentience and then it has to spend all day hovering and listening to you lot chattering away. I'm not being rude, but I think it's learned to hate you.
Oh!
Linda, turn off your dot.
It's gonna blow up.
It can kill you itself. Dot off!
Bubble down, dot off. I said dot off.
Oh god. Oh girl. Oh, okay. I thought she was fucking dead. And she doesn't have the fucking hand-eye coordination to just punch numbers. That's what I'm worried about. I'm like sure she missed one.
I've got it.
You're true. Don't worry about me.
Okay. Oh god.
Lindy, watch out.
His surname is Coombs. He was born Richard Coombs because I know everything about him. He changed his name to Ricky September when he reached 50,000 followers. But check your files. He was born Coombs. C comes before P.
Lindy.
Wow. Wow. Alright! I was thinking, what is his surname? And then I was like, maybe he changed it. And he did. But the reveal that she's like, you know what? My life is more important. That's fucked up. But also, I love that. I love that she did that. That's so fucked up. Lindy Pepper Bean. Problematic faves. Okay. Do they know what she did?
Please and days, sweetie.
Okay.
Is
Going
that
for a
what
hug.
we do now? We do. We hug. I was taught that by a very wonderful man.
Where's Ricky? Is he with you?
Absolutely
He went
psychopathic.
back. He said he had other people to save. He was so...
Absolutely psychopathic. To immediately move on from that. Just...
This is strange. Suppose I should say thank you. It was, nice of you.
World outside fine time. You must be Lindy Pepperbean. I've heard a lot about you.
What do you mean, the great beyond? The wild woods?
And further than that, There's a whole world out there, untamed.
What about Mummy?
She's not there, darling pie.
She's gone to the sky.
That's right.
Isn't that what they said in Boom? Like, my mom went to the sky, something like that.
Come with us.
Yeah, we helped you escape, didn't we? So we could get you out of here in the blink of an eye.
I have a ship. It harnesses technology that makes it bigger on the inside than on the outside. I could take you all. Could find you a home that is safe and clean and everything you want.
We couldn't travel with you.
What? Why not?
Because you, sir, are not one of us. I mean, sir, you were kind, although it was your duty to save me, obviously. I mean, screen-to-screen contact is just about acceptable, but in person, that's impossible.
Bigger on the inside.
Ooh.
Excuse me, sir. That's voodoo. And it doesn't matter where we end up living, because it is our God-given duty to maintain the standards of fine time.
The motto of this episode is, rich white people are irredeemable, actually.
I don't care what you think.
You can say whatever you want. You can think absolutely anything. I will do anything if you just allow me to save your lives.
If you'll turn away, ladies, before we're contaminated.
Like, you will die out there, and I can save your lives. Now let me.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm right there with you. Uh-huh. Yeah? Mm-hmm. It's my reaction too. It's good. It's good. Oh, this episode. There we go. That's her dot and bubble. Oh my god. Like, the way that episode just, like, right at the very ending just fucking hits you with that. Just like, Okay, so just for the record, I have to go and get myself some food before it's, like, super late. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk about this episode first. Because I feel like the emotion of the moment cannot be let go and pass for later. We have to talk about it now. So, okay. As this episode is happening, I was sitting here thinking, like, this character of fucking Lindy Pepperbean is so awful to the point that I was sitting here thinking, like, what are we gonna do with her? Like, what is the point? Because whenever you present a character to me, I'm sitting here thinking, like, what are we supposed to do? Like, from like the perspective of the person who's writing this, what are you planning to do with this character? So we're following Lindy Pepperbean, and the entire episode I'm sitting here thinking, like, why are we just following her? Okay, there has to be a reason. What is the reason? And then we meet fucking Ricky, and I'm sitting here like, Ricky's cool. He's really cool. He's actually really kind. He's really nice. He's very supportive. He's smart. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, he's gonna fucking die. There's no fucking way he lives. Like, something fucked up is gonna happen to Ricky. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, Linda's bad. Ricky's really good. So I'm thinking, what are we gonna do with Lindy? Lindy is having Lindy's having this thing where, like, I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna see Lindy grow out of her shell, grow out of her bubble, more specifically. Where she's like, I don't know how to walk without it. I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, maybe her life is so fucked up that, like, she grew up in the dot, so she doesn't. And they did say that the dot follow you your whole life. So I'm sitting thinking, like, okay, so if she's had the dot the whole life, she doesn't fully know how to, like, motor coordinate in a manner that makes sense. She only knows how to motor coordinate her body to the sound of somebody guiding you, rather than what you're actually seeing with your eyes, which is really interesting. I can see people watching this and being like, that's dumb, and it could be dumb. I'm not sure, because I am not a professional in this field. But I feel like if you grew up in it, because when she was in the dot and walking around to the voice in the background telling you forward, turn left, forward, 2 steps. Like, I was sitting here thinking, like, I would not be able to do that. I would not be able to do that because that's like too much focus on like something that is in the background for me. And it's like, I can't focus on like 2 things at once. That's like a me thing. But if I grew up in like in an environment where that was my whole life, then you would have to learn how to do that. But that means that you wouldn't be necessarily be able to know how to just walk normally. So I like that was something that was brought up. I was like, oh, this is really fucked up, but also maybe kind of makes sense. Anyway, I'm thinking what we're gonna do with Lindy is that maybe she's gonna be a character that like grows out of her shell, and she, you know, comes and at the end of the episode she's gonna learn the ways about the world and gonna reject the naivety of the fakeness of the dot, the bubble. Yeah, no, fuck that. We're doing something completely different. The episode is gonna, and it is not like it hard swerve into it. A little bit, but not fully, because when Lindy and Ricky were just like running around together, I was sitting here thinking like, man, these are the 2 whitest people I've ever seen in my life. Like, and it's something that it became really clear to me. And it was even addressed earlier when they were like, oh, you're the rich kids. It's like, yeah, I would hope so. And it's the thing of like, okay, all right, everyone has incredibly like mean girl energy. That's what we're doing here. And it makes sense, like, when you look at the characters at the beginning of the episode. It's like, everyone here is so incredibly, like, white and ignorant. Were any of them not white? I have to check, actually. No, they were all, like, white. I'm looking at them. They were all pretty white. You know, class disparity. And it's, like, class disparity, but also, right at the very end, racial disparity. Oh my god, that emotion at the end of the episode was like, it's funny. It's funny because like, when it happened, I was like, I had this reaction, and then I kind of chuckled to myself a little bit. I was like, woohoo! And then I thought, oh, maybe somebody who watches this video is gonna think like that was a wrong reaction to have. But then the doctor started having that reaction, and I'm like, exactly. That's exactly how I feel. It's like, whoa, whoa. And then he just starts freaking out and losing it. He just starts laughing and then screaming, ah! And you see like a bunch of spit fly out of his mouth because he's like so overwhelmed by this emotion. And it's like, yeah, yeah, that's it. Because like, it's very clear that right at the end, it's just like, yeah, racism, just straight up. And I like it because it is not like super overt and in your face, but it is the climax of the episode. It is this thing where like you follow Lindy Pepperbean the entire episode, and you might get attached to Lindy Pepperbean because you follow her for an entire episode. The moment she turns on Ricky and just fucking kills them, I was like, okay, I really like what we're doing with this character. Because it would have been really easy for us to have a storyline about Lindy becoming a better person. She doesn't. And in fact, the way she acts immediately after she kills Ricky is absolutely psychopathic. Like, she kills them, and then she runs away. Then she sees the doctor and Ruby, and she puts on this smile, this fake-ass smile of somebody who's playing it off because she doesn't want people to find out what just happened. And then she sees her friend and she goes like, oh my god, yeah, and just hugs her and shit. And then she turns around just completely smiling. Absolutely psychopathic. Insane. And I'm sitting here thinking like, this is incredible. Because something we're doing here is that, again, it would have been so easy for you to follow Lindy Pepperbean the entire episode and think to yourself like, oh, I kind of like this character. She grew up. That's not where it goes. It goes to a much more darker place. And the point of that is to be like, hey, you follow this person for the entire episode. She's fucked up. She's a fucked up person. She's fucking evil. There is an argument to be made about her environment growing up being the root of that evil. You know, living in the dot, living in the bubble. But at the same time, like, now I have questions about the homeworld. Was the homeworld completely white? Or there were actually people of other races in the homeworld? But maybe they were just not... They were not part of your dot group of friends. And if there were people of the races, then that means that there's still like a class racial disparity. So that means that only the white people were rich enough in order to go to this place and hang out together. So at the very end, when the doctor is like, you could come with me, I could just take you to a safe place. And they go, you're not part of our community. At first, I was like, oh, he's like an outcast, like, oh, they were all been mind wiped, or not mind wiped, but like mind control into thinking that the only people you should hang out because it's what is allowed are the people that is like in your immediate like circle of friends, It would be more of a social thing. Arguably, it kind of is. But then when that guy said, what did he say? What was the exact line? We need to be exact here. We need the exact line. If you'll turn away, ladies, before you're contaminated. You really feel it with that one. It's like, it is also a line of like, how do we say it without saying it? Because it's like, you don't want to be incredibly overt sometimes. You just want for it to come through, but for it to not be just look into the camera and say racism is bad. However, this also allows you to get in the shoes of the doctor a little bit. It allows you to get in the shoes of someone that you follow, you trust, he's good, he has his best interest, your best interest in mind. And not only that, he says, like, you can think whatever you want to think, you can feel however you want to feel, but just let me save your life. And they go like, nah, bro, you're black. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. That's all fucked up. That's really bad. And it's really good at the same time. I like this episode. I feel like every episode of this season I liked. Some more than others, but Space Babies continues to be like the one that was just like, oh, that's something that's fun right now that I'm noticing, is that Space Babies was like the fun episode of the season. Just for you to get introduced into like the silly goofiness of traveling around with the doctor. And then it all goes wrong. You have like Devil's Chord, which is still a fun episode. It's still kind of goofy, but it's also kind of like high stakes. So it is a little bit fucked up in that regard, but it's still like having fun. It's still silly stuff because the maestro is really a really fun character. However, then you get into the absolute anti-capitalistic boom that is Boom. Then you get into the fucked up reality that is 73 yards. And then you get into Racism is Bad, the episode. Or rather than that, because that's not really what the episode is, because that's what comes in at the very end. What the episode is, and I said it during the reaction, is white rich people are irredeemable, the episode, right? And that's the thing. That's the thing, is that you can argue that they are not irredeemable, right? You can argue that that's the case. Because, sure, people's minds can be changed. This is something that I honestly, truly believe from the bottom of my core. Human beings are people that are able to change. They're able to grow. They're able to learn something new and adapt based on that new acquired information. This is how we grow. This is how life works for us. However, there is such a thing as the situation presented to us where you're begging for them to see reality for what it is. To just follow you and be like, yeah, I'll trust you. Just a tiny bit of trust. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. Because I am trying to save your lives. And I've proven that I can save your lives. I've proven that I have your best interests in mind. And yet, the prejudice is so strong that it's like, nah, I'm not going to. And it is so upsetting. It is so upsetting that that's the level, right? Because you can argue that you can change someone, but if the prejudice is that strong, it's gonna be really hard to do. And so much so that the doctor is not able to do it. We spent an entire episode saving this bitch's life, and then she's like, nah, I'm good. Arguably, he saved all of them. I think, maybe. I'm not fully sure if he did, but it could have been, it's cool, the idea that he saved everybody and then he gets immediately rejected by everybody. That also recontextualizes why she blocked him immediately as soon as he showed up. She was like, black man, bomb, gone. But when Ruby showed up, she was like, okay, whatever. Sure, you're stupid. And like, at least engaged in conversation, right? At least. Because you can argue that when the episode started, you're thinking like, oh, they're all taught to not embrace negative feelings, you know? But no, what they're actually taught is to not embrace black people. That's what it is. Oh boy. Oh Lord. Sometimes Doctor Who takes us to a land where the future is this really wild thing that is so different from the real world that you live in fucking 21st century. And it's something that's so different for you to have this like wonder of exploring something that, a concept, an idea, a world, people that are so far removed from who you are. And there's fun in that. The fun of exploring something that's new and different. This episode was the frustration of exploring a reality that we live in. And I don't have to live in that reality as much as other people, namely black people, do. I don't have to do that for a number of reasons. If you live in a country like the United States, and I'm pretty sure UK, this is something that probably really does happen a lot. And it happens, it is not more clear than to the people that suffer from it. And that moment of the Doctor, I don't know exactly where his mind was at, but I'm thinking that maybe he didn't fully clue in until that final line was said. And when that line was said, reality sunk on him, and it was such an absurd reality that he had that reaction of, I can't believe that these are fellow human beings, which I would have to imagine, because I've seen it, I've heard people talk about it, but I can never say that this is necessarily something that I personally know the feeling of, but I'm pretty sure that feeling is like too real. That's like like I watch black content creators, right? Like I follow some channels and streams from people that are black that I love, because I personally love fighting games, right? Fighting games is something that I love a lot. And the fighting game community is not largely black, but black people are prominent in it because, you know, it's something that everyone who hung out at the arcade in the 90s, they were all like, hell yeah, man, let's have some fun together with a couple quarters. And that's where it like grew up. So like the fighting game community has its roots in that. So there's a bunch of black people in there, and I love watching like content creation from black people. And I've seen them have that moment of like, yeah, okay. And it's like it's like such a ridiculous reality that you kind of like your reaction is a specific brand of anger and frustration and feeling dejected, that it is so absurd that you don't just get upset. You just kind of laugh. You're like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And that's how that felt. That's how I felt right there at the very end. That's where I was at. That was Dot and Bubble. Oh man, like I feel like maybe this season of Doctor Who has upset a lot of people, and that's without even me like checking in with the. There was a moment where Ricky showed up, and Ricky was like, "Oh yeah, between you and me, I just upload my videos and I just fucking leave. I don't give a shit. I turn off my dot off and I just go and walk around." And I'm like, good. That's how I knew immediately he was like, he's really good. He's a good person. Because like that, you don't know what I know. And what I mean by that is I have a YouTube channel. You don't know what it's like to feel the mental damage of, I just posted a video, let's see what the comments say. You don't know the psychic damage you take. You don't know the vicious mockery cantrip that just hits you. And you're like, ah, and it just ruins the rest of your day, possibly multiple days. I talked about the comments to Doctor Who episodes earlier when I first started this recording. Fuck it. I talk about them. I don't want to read them. I read them a little bit, and then I was like, I'm gone. Like, I thought Starbeast taught me that. Like, I released my video for Starbeast, and I felt like I had to read them because I had to ban people from my comment section. Because I don't... You have to, like, call that transphobic shit at the roots. But, like, then I was, like, worried. I was like, oh my god, do I have to keep reading them? Do I have to keep banning? Do I have to... I am an acting mod on my own channel because I don't want someone to show up on my videos and to just read some disgusting shit in the comment section and leave. I don't want that. I want this to feel like a more safe place for those people. Because, like, I got trans people's back, you know? Like, I'm friends with trans people. They're cool. And more than just cool, they're people, right? So, like, having... I felt like I had to mod that, and I took psychic damage every time I did. I really think social media and like the weird bubbles that people have formed in social media have really just melted their brains off. That's how I feel. And that's how I kind of felt about this episode too. This episode is more real than it is about just the fictitious reality of social media, but it is the thing of like, well, white rich people are completely secluded, completely isolated in a bubble, just talking to each other, not even having human physical contact, and then they all need to die. It was good that the home world was destroyed. Actually, fuck them. I love the way this episode was written. I really do, because like the character of Lindy, she's so fucked up. She's so psychopathic, but you don't know that until it hits you. You don't know that until it gets there. But like, as the episode is happening, you see all the parts where Lindy is a flawed person. So you're following that, and you're thinking, what are we gonna do with Lindy? I'm thinking like we're gonna try to have her grow into a more real person. Fuck no, she doesn't. She grows into a more fucked up person. She doubles down on what she believes to be true in her upbringing, in her values, and then the episode ends. And then you feel the frustration that the doctor feels. It's like, and there you go. That's Start on Bubble. Love that episode. Every episode is a fucking banger. Exception being Space Babies, but I also don't hate Space Babies. It's just like a fun, goofy episode. But for me personally, like, I love Devil's Court a lot. I really do. I love Boom. I feel like I love Devil's Court a little bit more. But then 73 Yards came out, and I was like, oh my god, this is one of the best episodes I've seen. And then this episode comes out, and I'm like, I feel like this is... I mean, if I'm going to rank episodes as I've seen them, probably at the bottom is Space Babies. Then it's Boom, but I like Boom a lot, actually. So it's like Space Babies, Power Gap, Boom. Then I like this episode more, probably. I do. I like Dot and Bubble a lot, because it's so interesting to have this episode where you follow this, like, horror protagonist coming out of her shell, and it's just like fucked up like social media dystopia, and then it's like, oh, it's racism. Actually, it's classist racism, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure, that's where we go. Then I like Devil's Court a lot, because Devil's Court, okay, I'm gonna reveal something to you that you might not have seen yet. I'm not even like discussing the episode, I'm just talking about the season. I'm gonna reveal something with you about Devil's Court. I bought a bass after I watched Devil's Court. I did. Like, and it's not something that was out of nowhere, because I've been meaning to learn how to play bass, and this is my first instrument. I'll also say that. I am learning to play an instrument for the first time at 27 years old. I've been meaning to get a bass and learn how to play it for a while, for a couple years now. I watched Devil's Court, and part of me was like, I really get what they're doing, and I really love what they're doing. I really love the idea of like music is such a beautiful thing, and like the world without it would fucking suck. And it is not just the learning music or like playing music. It is the emotion of enjoying music, right? That's what it was going for. Like that, there's always a twist at the end, musical bit at the end of that episode where everybody's just singing and dancing, and it is so colorful and joyful. Like that's what it was. It wasn't just about like, oh, are the Beatles good at playing music? It wasn't that. It was the enjoyment that people get out of music. Not just the enjoyment, the expression that people get out of music. The doctors are like, the reason why the world ended was because people didn't really have an outlet to let their emotions go into. So they just fucking blew each other up without knowing why. They just got angry and just fucking blew shit up instead of go listening to Slipknot or something. And like having that episode be it leans so hard into like the idea of the enjoyment and the expression and just the living of music, how important music is on a more like the soul of music sense. I saw that and I really like that and I really vibe with it, and I was like, I really want to learn how to play bass. I watched that and I was like, I really, really want to learn how to play bass. And it's not even about learning, because that's the thing. I didn't even buy this to learn it. I bought it to play it. And there's a difference there, because I realized that I think this is a bad mentality to have. And I noticed this with digital art, because I draw digital art. I've actually drawn several like digital art pieces, and I've been always drawing since I have memory. And the thing is that I took like, I want to say like a hiatus of like 10 years where I didn't draw much. I wasn't doing great mentally. You can argue that it was also the vitamin D deficiency that I learned a couple months ago that I have severe of. So once I started talking vitamins, maybe that helped a little bit getting some of that that inspiration back. I started drawing again, and I've been doing so with a different mentality than I ever did, which was, I'm just going to draw things because I think it's cool. It's just fun. And that's it. Because like I feel like something that I always fell into was just drawing, hoping or expecting to get something like that would look nice. And I just completely abandoned that notion. Now I'm just like, I'm just going to draw, and I'm just going to draw lines, and whatever happens, happens. And that has been really fun, really fulfilling, and actually resulted in the best results I've ever drawn. And I approach this bass and just music with the same mentality. I was like, I'm just going to get one, and I'm just going to have fun with it. And I'm pretty sure that just by doing that, I'm going to learn it. Because I'm pretty sure that, like, every musician that I've asked about this, you know, people that I know that are musicians, they were like, yeah, bro, just go for it. You know, it's going to be fun. And I think that that is the actual mentality that a lot of people get hung up on when it comes to music. And this mentality is weird because it came from, like, me playing fighting games where my friends who are not as good as me, and they don't spend as much time playing them, they get really hung up on wanting to be successful playing a fighting game. I just like pressing buttons. So for me, just playing the game is fun, and then I got really good at them. But that's because I like it, and I enjoyed it. And I feel like that's the same with something like learning an instrument. It's just like, do it because it's fun for you, and you're going to learn it just by doing it. If you really get hung up on the idea of like, I want to learn, and it's like a mountain that you feel intimidated by immediately, it's like, no, fuck it. Just picture yourself already in the mountain and having a great time climbing. And if that's what you go for, then it's going to be great. And that's where I'm at. So with that mentality in mind, I saw this bass used, cheap as fuck, being sold by a owner of a woman's goth store. She was like, I'm selling my bass. And I was like, fuck it, let's go for it. You know, it was cheap. It was at a great deal. I was like, I'm doing it. And I'm very happy with it. It's been great. This is a really weird tangent. I just wanted to let you all know, like, I love Devil's Court so much because it really tapped into this feeling of like, I want to do this because it's fun. Music is not supposed to be like a challenge. It's supposed to be something that's enjoyable. So I'm here now. Anyway, Dot and Bubble. I don't think I have anything else to say. Like, I just really like this episode, but it also just fucking hit me in the face. And I enjoyed that it hit me in the face. I enjoy whenever an episode hit me in the face. One of the best scenes, like straight up, one of the best scenes we've had in a while is just the Doctor reacting to racism. It's just like that very visceral reaction is like, yeah, okay. I really like that. We can talk about like the monsters, why they were sent, you know, like who sent them, like the company, why did they take over the homeworld? Like, that is interesting, right? Because like, why were they sent? They were sent by somebody because they were after people in an alphabetical order. Oh, they were sent by the Dot. Duh, they did say that. You know, like the Dot artificial intelligence just gained sentience and just decided to fucking just manufacture this like weird slugs that just fucking eat you. And it's like, okay, this This is Terminator, but like more fucked up, right? It's not like machines that just grew fucking got legs and just shot you to that and nuke each other. It's like no, it's like we manufactured some weird slugs that eat you, and then we just move you to walk right into them. Okay, so Mummy, everybody here was like talking about Mummy who paid for them to come here. And it seems like Mummy is not just my mummy, but like the mummy. It's like a general mummy. Everybody's mummy, and she pays for everybody to come here. So that's how the old lady, Susan Twist, she's here again. Pretty sure that was her. And this time they just straight up acknowledged it. Ruby acknowledged the last episode, but that was alternate world Ruby, so she didn't really retain that information. But in this episode, the doctor acknowledged it. It was like, wasn't that the lady from like, yeah, okay. But there was a moment where they mentioned, well, what did they say? It was like, where's Mommy? She went up. She's gone to the sky. And that's interesting because that's something they said in Boom, didn't they? When the girl said, my mom, she went to the sky. I'm pretty sure she said she went to the sky. And if that's the case, then okay, that's something different. That kind of sounds a little bit like what we did in Series 8 with, going to heaven, with death in heaven. It sounds a little bit like that. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. Put a pin on it. It's like maybe this will matter at some point. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. It's just like, I love this episode because of the idea of we're going to follow like a horror movie, this character of Lindy, the entire time. And then right at the end, she's going to do something absolutely psychopathic, betray Ricky, kill Ricky in an incredibly fucked up move. And then she's going to go and look into the camera and say, I am racist. And then the episode ends and credits roll. And it's like, okay. I really like that because that is, it forces the audience to put themselves in this place of, I was rooting for Cindy, and now I am actively hating Cindy. It forces the audience to have that move, that shift, because that's something that's very real. Because people like to think, and this is something people forget a lot, because like this is something that people don't realize a lot of the time, and people don't like thinking about this, but it's this reality of people like to categorize like bigots and harmful and hurtful people as monsters that are so far gone from, being a normal human. That's not really true. The truth is that any one of us has the potential to adopt some really fucked up beliefs, do some really fucked up things, and thinking of yourself as somebody who is immune to that, and also thinking as the people around you as immune to that, is not ideal, is not practical. So this is an episode that forces you to at first root for someone and then have to like immediately condemn her actions, like right away. And that's something that I think is really cool. I really like that. I really like the idea of like it forces you to exercise that muscle a little bit, the muscle of like, I have to be able to look at this and be like, no, this is actually really bad, and I kind of hate you now. Because honestly, if your friend was Lindy Pepperbean, you should look at Lindy Pepperbean and be like, you are a fucked up person and I don't want to see you anymore. Fuck you, bitch. You could try to change your mind, but at a certain point you have to be like, bitch, fucking leave. So that's where we're at. Yeah. So that's this episode. That's Dot on Bubble. I think that's everything I have to say about it. About a base. I'm happy with it. All right, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. See you next time. Bye. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this reaction episode of Doctor Who. If you'd like to watch the next 2 episode reactions, as well as full-length reactions, you can do so over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below. Social media. So it's the cool stuff that I do. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. Take care.